Nigerian Insurers Association, NIA. Soji, nice to have you join us. Good morning. Hello, Soji. Soji, are you there? Yes, good morning. Okay. I'm trying to see if we can get that correctly. Can you hear me now? Okay, it's a bad connection. We'll try and see how we fix that, and then we can get that good so that we can hear Soji pretty well. But getting back to the roads, we did tell you, Alausa End, it's a mixed kind of experience. But those of you on Ikorodu Road, coming in from the inner part of Ikorodu, we've been given that alternative for you to navigate through at this time. By the time you get to mile 12, you can make use of underneath the bridge at mile 12 to link Ajilogo, and from there you can proceed on your journey. Ibejuleki, movement from the deep sea port heading towards Dangote refinery and adjoining environs, still looking very, very good at the moment. Pinnacle Depot and its environment still very much in perfect shape as well. We can tell you the return journey from Akodu General Hospital is still looking good to go as well. And then we can tell you movement from Eleko inside down to Amen Estate is still very good. While on the coastal construction project, that one is there, but it's not really affecting traffic at the moment. Adequate monitoring is being put in place with a patrol team on the standby to bring some levels of sanity within that particular corridor. Soji, are you there? Can you hear me now? Okay, it's still a very, very bad connection. Let's see what we can do to clean that up. All right, then. So the conversation today is about businesses and insurance. Let's see how we can leverage insurance for the growth of businesses at this time. So, Junior, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Victor?
It's much better right now. All right, then. So,
good morning.
Good morning, and it's nice to have you. 2 weeks back, we started this topic with a bit to making listeners understand better the connection between a properly insured business and the corresponding growth it brings. So, break it down for our listeners once again. Is there a parallel between these two concepts in terms of growth?
Yes. You know, when we talk about insurance, we are talking about the cornerstone of risk management for businesses. So it's very important that businesses to be protected. So from protecting assets, the employees, managing the liability risk, and ensuring business continuity, because that's the essence of anybody going to business. You want business continuity, and you don't want anything that is going to interrupt or disrupt any interruption or disruption of the business. So insurance provides safety net that allow entrepreneurs to focus on growth and success.
So there's always a connection between these two.
Yes.
All right. So let's take that to another level. Let's do some kind of enlightenment for our listeners. What are the benefits of insurance to a business owner, to a business concern?
Okay. You know, when we talk about the benefit of insurance, we have what we call the direct benefit, and we have indirect benefit. If I start with the indirect benefit, you may not see it. You know, insurance is like a promise. It's a paper. It's a promise on a paper that is given to you. So it's not intangible things that you can see. So one of the things that you may not see that is done at the back end, which we call indirect benefit, is risk management. Insurance will help you to improve your risk, give recommendation, and monitor the risk, which we call risk monitoring. They also do what we call prevention, risk prevention for you. They allow that loss does not happen. And if it happens at a minimum. So when you're starting a business, an insurance industry or insurance company follow you from the beginning, from your business continuity plan, from your proposal to the end. So you can also see some of those for example, like Keyman Life Assurance or Plan, which enable you to affect or compensate for financial loss or profit suffered by the death of one person, maybe a key member of a staff of the organization, because that person may be someone who has all the knowledge or the brain the business is relying on. So these are indirect, but we also have direct benefit. For example, like reducing the risk, providing financial security. It provides financial. You can see that, you can feel it. It's a direct to the customer. It also promotes a form of investment. For example, you can expand your business because you know somebody is at your back watching for you. Also, you can also have what we call provide employment, because now you can enlarge your business on a larger scale, employ more people, knowing that these people because you know for you to distribute your business or make your business to be available to everybody, maybe all over Nigeria, you need employees to be engaged. You can protect them, that they have that confidence by attracting and so retaining them. And also, it can help you to export. Insurance will help you to export. Maybe your goods to start producing it in Nigeria, you can take it to a neighboring country, and by there you can earn what we call invisible earnings. So you have direct benefit and indirect benefit.
All right, so lots of benefits that one can gain. But Soji, somebody who's listening to you right now, as we speak across the country, so many things ain't smiling. Businesses are not really smiling. Inflation rate is still very, very high. Last count, over 34%. That's the inflation rate. We had food inflation over 40%. Even as we speak right now, prices of goods have continuously risen. Interest rates are also rising. And so somebody who's into business may be wondering, what's the connection between me and insurance at this time when things are very, very low? Can you just break it down for our listeners this morning?
Okay, thank you. Insurance play a lot of roles when it comes about mitigating inflation and economic instability on businesses. You know, when you approach all our products, majority of our products have all these
Hello, Soji, can you hear me? Okay, we seem to be losing the line to Soji this morning. We're trying to see how we can get that. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so we lost you for a bit there, so just rewind a bit.
Okay, so I was just saying that insurance, we have we play a lot of roles when it comes about managing inflation and economic instability. For example, let me start with property. In our property insurance, there is what we call escalation clause. This escalation clause is a provision that is designed. We design it to empower businesses and individuals, giving them the control over their insurance coverage. That means you have control over it. It protects them from rising cost of property value, and the effect of inflation. So what it means is that when you have a property and the value, you know, you can make provision ahead and said for the next one, for this year, this is the provision for inflation. For the next year, this is the place for inflation. So the escalation cost in our property gives you, it's a percentage which we keep increasing the property value by that percentage which you have chosen. Sometimes it can be 20%, it can be 10%, it can be 15%. It ensures that the coverage is also in line with the change inflation rate. So you are keeping it as your value of the property is. You are keeping it so that your property value is not lower than the inflation rate. So one of the things it gives you is that it gives you the opportunity to reach where there is a loss. You know, for example, the cost of buying a property now or repair is high, but because you have an escalation clause in your policy, it gives you the room so that you can meet up with that inflation rate. So if the value of the property goes to 30 million, with your inflation rate, it will also go to 30 million. It will help you to meet that obligation. Right. The same thing happens when we have the one basis. So from the one, you have even agreed that this is the value, this is the rate, giving room for inflation and also giving room for that. So it is the duty of the client to ensure, so it's not mandatory, but it's a wise decision to always tell your underwriter that, I need a policy that gives room for inflation, that address inflation, or that address economic instability.
All right, so we have those kind of policies, so that can address inflation as well.
Yes.
Oh, good. So what you're saying now, Soji, is that this is also a good time for people to tap into insurance, no matter the difficulties.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's begin to address some other issues, because a lot of times I hear from practitioners like you that someone cannot profit from insurance. What does that mean, really?
Okay. Not that you cannot profit from insurance. When we use that language, we use it for people who have the mind of committing fraud or fraudulent acts, submitting fraudulent claim. And this is how it's being treated. Now, the essence of insurance is to partner with business, that the business keep going at the rate that the business want to. So if you have a target and you want to achieve a goal, that is the essence of insurance, help a business to achieve goal. However, if you are going to do, there's what you call indemnity in insurance, putting you to the position you are before the loss. That means if your cup is half full before the loss happen, we should give you half full cup. If your barrel is half ink barrel, we should give you. If your car is white, we should give you a car white and the spec and the specification and everything. However, we have modification to this indemnity, in the sense that a client on his own, that is what we call restatement value condition. You know, when we talk about restatement value condition, a claim settlement method in any property insurance, whereby the insurance pay the replacement value of the damaged property, you know, or the asset as a claim amount, allowing the policyholder to replace it. Now, what it means is this. You know, I told you that indemnity is putting you into a position you are. But when you do a restatement is saying, I'm going to replace this thing for you. Now, when you are given that right to replace, there is no allowance for wear and tear again. Because if you do indemnity, we will have given consideration that you have used the biro for 5 years. We will have given consideration you have using this property for, so there will be room for depreciation and wear and tear. But when you do a restatement, there is a benefit or a gain for you, which is a profit, where you can get new for hold or betterment. However, where we give you new for hold, we will call you to come and contribute. Don't forget. So when we give you new for hold, we ask you to pay to contribute to be part of it. For example, if a machine, you insure a machine that produces 1,000 sweets, and for us to get that machine, it's not possible in Nigeria. Maybe they are not manufacturing it again. We now say, okay, because you are choosing a restatement, let's give you a replacement. Now, giving a replacement, the one we are replacing is a bit value that can produce 3,000 sweets. Don't forget, the one you are having before was 1,000 sweets.
Right.
Now, because of that 3,000, that's what you call betterment. You have enjoyed betterment because you are going to have a machine that will be producing 3,000 instead of 1,000. You have enjoyed new for hold. Now, that cost of that, getting that machine, because we could not get the old one, we will call you to come and be part of it. So from that way, we can tell you, you cannot make profit from insurance because you are also being a part of that. However, for those who deliberately want to fraudulently take insurance, then, for example, trying to escalate the value, when there's a claim, they try to increase the value of the property. You know, when we ask them to submit estimate of repair, they no, insurance have a better way. We get experts, loss adjusters, risk assessors. All these people come together. They try to get the true value. So from the true value, you will not say, when you ask us to pay 500,000, I will not say, no, this is 300,000. We are paying you cash. If I pay you cash, this is 300,000. If you don't want, let's replace it for you. You can see the client will feel, right. You know. So we cannot say you cannot make profit or find a fraudulent way from insurance because we have experts we work with. Right. However, if you take a policy that can make you to enjoy betterment or new for old, you will be made to contribute, and by that you are better. Because there is a proverb in Yoruba that said the king palace that got burnt, when you are rebuilding it, it's going to be more glorious, more beautiful than before.
Okay, then. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM Insurance Digest is the program. Soji, Controller Technical Nigerian Insurers Association, is our guest as we look at insurance and businesses, especially now that things are pretty hard. So what he's saying, this is the best time for you to also still tap into insurance, no matter how difficult things might be. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, What should owners of businesses consider when picking an insurance policy at this time? And what insurance types can they also tap into during this period? So we also love to hear from you too. If you have any questions for Soji, you can connect with us. That's on 08099120777 and 09153877127.
Hello, Dayo.
Mr. Man! Oh, see what you have done now! You have damaged my car!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I hope you have a good motor insurance.
Yes, I have a third-party motor insurance that will take care of all the repairs.
In fact, the benefits of third-party motor insurance have increased. First, the limit to claims for damages to third-party vehicles has been increased. Secondly, when you get your third-party motor insurance, you automatically get an ECOWAS Brown card, which means your vehicle now has insurance cover across all West African countries. And if ever it is liable on Nigerian roads for damages to a vehicle from any West African country, the premium to be paid for third-party motor insurance for private car owners, it increased from 5,000 naira to 15,000 naira to enable insurers adequately bear the cost of repairs whenever the need arises. Buy your motor insurance. Please log on to www.niip.ng or visit any licensed insurance company today. This is a public enlightenment message from the Nigeria Insurers Association, NIA.
The pastorate, leadership, and the entire members of Abiding Word Evangelical Church International, Nigeria and Diaspora felicitate and celebrate you, Reverend Mrs. Yetunde Olubumi Ilori, Senior Pastor, General Overseer, on the occasion of your inauguration as the President and Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institution of Insurance Nigeria. We make bold to say that your attainment of this exalted office is another testimony to your usual assiduousness in discharging all your duties without fear or favor. May God equip you with the wisdom for your new calling, and you will continue to be recognized among the kings.
Before, na so wahala with law enforcement agent.
Yes, so hey, NIA don't upgrade the NID platform. Oh, now from your phone, you fit confirm your motor insurance certificate one time. Make sure say you don't get wahala with our law enforcement agent them. Just dial *565*11# one hand and follow the direction. It go show whether na fake or correct insurance you get. Oh, it no hard and na sharp. But you to make sure say you buy your motor insurance from only registered insurance company to avoid wahala. This message now from Nigerian Insurance Association, NIA.
We at Shagun Oluyema and Associate and SOA Facility Managers celebrate the Amazon and icon of the insurance industry in the person of Reverend Mrs. Yetunde Olubumi Ilori, FCIIN, on the occasion of your investiture as the 52nd President and Chairman of Council of Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria. Congratulations on your outstanding achievement. We wish you a successful tenure in your new office.
Insurance Digest on the Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. All right, within the Alausa end, those of you making that journey from Omole, proceeding through Wemco, Acme, down to Cadbury, still looking relatively good. But of course, approaching Awolowo Road, it begins to slow down a bit. You have the kind of slowness that permeates through that corridor, through radio to Allen intersection. Nothing unusual. Lots of vehicles making use of that corridor. But we're also advising that you make use of that corridor as an alternative for you to connect Bank Anthony Way to link up with Maryland. And that's as a result of the construction work which is ongoing at Odo Yalaro. So we are still pleading that you make use of that corridor. Now, the Ogolonto end, traffic is now calm around the area of coverage from Aruna to Agric, as well as Antikeni, Ogolonto intersection down to Itowolo is looking good as we speak right now. Return journey from Itowolo, Asolo, and areas like Majidun, Awori is moving well, approaching Ogolonto intersection slightly busy. This is due to diversion of traffic at the middle of Obasek-Madu Road. This is due to palliative work, which is ongoing at that particular end in what's Ogulunto intersection. So take note of that as you drive through that corridor. All right, 08099120777 is the numbers that you can call, or 091-5387-7127. So if you are a business owner and you're wondering how you can really maximize potentials of insurance for the growth of your business, you can also bring that in. All right, so Soji, for anyone who is thinking of really tapping into insurance as a business owner, what are the things that he or she needs to consider?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Victor. The first thing we need to know is that the owner of the risk is the insured. That means you are the risk owner of your risk. We call you risk owner. So it is your duty to first of all start what we call the process of identifying. The first thing first is you need to define your risk relating to your business. That's, for example, if I'm going to a business of bakery, I should be able to identify all the risks that are attached to that business. For example, starting from the raw materials that I need to produce, whether the raw material, work in progress, finished goods, the warehousing of those things, maybe the finished goods, the building I'll be using, can be subject to fire, the machine and equipment I'll be using can be subject to fire. So you need to first of all define your risk. The risk of fire, the risk of liability, the risk of a injury, the accident. All these risks, when you define it, you keep identifying it in the flow of your business. When you identify it, you now evaluate it. You evaluate it in the sense that's the third level. The first one is you define. The second one is you identify. The third one is you evaluate it. When you evaluate, you are looking at, if there is a fire, that means you have to look, you will lose your business, you lose your share in the market to a competitor, you may have to relocate, you need money to do an alternative accommodation. All these things are what you call evaluation. And you put a value to that evaluation. This will cost me 700 million, this will cost me 5 million, this will cost me 3 million. Now, when you evaluate it, it will not help you to know how to manage it. Can I reduce it? Can I eliminate it, not to go into business? If I'm going to go into that business, can I transfer it to someone, an insurance company who can handle it? Now, in that transferring, that is where you know that you are taking. So the first thing you must do for any business is to first do all these things I've done. So when you have done it, then when you transfer to the insurance company, it becomes more easier because you are the owner of your need. You will be able to communicate to the insurance company or your underwriter that this is what and what and what I need. These are my worries. These are my fears. So they will now be able to give you what you call risk treatment. Okay, then 08099120777. Some messages are already trickling in for you. This one says, good morning, Mr. Oni. How is the Nigerian Insurers Association working to improve the customer experience for business insurance clients? Mr. Bamdele, but I have a call. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Mr. Afolabi from Ikorodu.
Oh, Afolabi, how are you doing?
I'm all right, my brother. How was your night, sir?
Very good, very good.
Yeah, two things. Number one, I'm going to digress.
Okay.
But number two, I'm going to talk a little bit about the insurance.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Azmi, at least for shedding one light. For some of us that we do not really know the details about all these insurance. However, I have a little more or less like an advice.
Okay.
And number two is just like a question.
All right, quickly.
For people, for some of our employees, that we have policy of life insurance policy for that is running.
Right.
How efficient is this? We don't usually claim such, not until after the demise of an employee, as the case may be. How feasible is this in the nearest future? Because I kept on renewing this thing every year for my staff. Especially when you want to be documentation compliant with some of what is it called? Pension as a PENCOM and all that.
Right.
You need to be compliant before you can have your certificate. That is by the side.
Okay.
The number two is still on insurance.
Right.
I want insurance company to be globally compliant. How do I mean? I think I've shared this experience sometimes ago. I've shared the experience sometimes ago rather. Saying that back in outside the country, I wanted to register my vehicle insurance and all that. And they were asking me if I had a claim in the past or thereabout. And I said, no, I've not had any. Then I asked for my no discount claim or something like that, which I wrote back to my insurance company in Nigeria. I don't want to mention name.
Right.
And they did give me the certificate. I presented this thing to them. It was not honored.
Wow.
And based on that, my premium was jacked up, seriously.
Wow.
So I don't know whether Nigerian insurance companies, they are really compliant with international global standards. Maybe that's the reason why it was being turned down, or maybe probably the integrity. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
You guys need to work seriously on that.
All right.
Then lastly, I'm going to digress a bit, Mr. Victor.
Quickly.
He's back on the road. Quick one. Then I heard your conversation with Dele before. That's to your program on the TV station.
Yes.
Saying that there's a shortcut you can take through Ondo Street whatsoever underneath the Aderigo. We are talking about the stretch. If we have gotten such alternative right from Ikorodu that we can navigate outside the road, would have been another ball game entirely. But forget about whether there is a shortcut from underneath. Do you know the volume of vehicle coming from Ikorodu?
I understand.
Yeah, that was just a studio talk.
I understand.
It's not the reality talk on the road. You shouldn't say that. People are annoying.
All right.
They are annoying. What we want from government now, they are not going to making things difficult for us. They should open the BRT and let the personnel be on that stretch of road to guide the movement of motorists.
Okay.
Enough of all this. We are tired.
All right.
We see the way things being done outside the country.
Apologies.
You know that I'm passion for this country.
That's right. Apologies, Afolabi. I have to let you go. Because of time. But apologies to you. Most of you have spoken all through yesterday as it relates to your experience on the road, and we've equally narrated that to the authorities. I think they're really working seriously to check that so that you don't have that kind of rippling effect anymore. All right. So Afolabi is concerned. I'm just going to run all of them through, and I need to have your responses pretty short. Soji, this one says, how does insurance help businesses manage operational risks effectively? And this is coming in from Oluchi. This one says, good day, Mr. Oni. How is the NIA addressing the issues of low insurance penetration in the Nigerian business sector? All right, there are so many questions really about time. So, Soji, 30 seconds. Can you answer all these questions?
Okay, operational risk. One of the things that we do to reduce operational risk is one of it is what we call protection, whether financial, whether asset protection, whether financial protection. That will help to reduce operational risk. The other one, what do we do for penetration? One of it is what we call education, enlightenment, because we discover is one of the major things that one of the challenges that we're trying to resolve.
Right.
That is that. Also, customer experience, like you said, NI is working tirelessly to have a very good customer experience, and that's why we make sure our members and they are living up to their expectation to ensure, for example, now the turnaround of any claim is just once every documentation has been concluded within 48 hours.
Right.
Our members will settle their claim. This
right.
is just to get the confidence of the public.
And for Afolabi, group life insurance, how beneficial is it? Because he says he's been taking it for his staff.
It is for death. It's only when somebody dies before you know that, because it's employed for employees. So if that employee die, so that the beneficiary can get something. So if somebody has not died, it cannot be. So until it's covering death, any form of death, it is got to go covered, because the law make it mandatory that every employer having more than 3 must put in place group life for their employees.
We'll leave it at that for now. So, Johnny, thank you so much. But I know the big thing in the industry today is the investiture of Mrs. Yetunde Ilori as the president and chairman,
52nd
president of the Chartered Institute, Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria. All right. So we say congratulations, sir. So, Johnny, thank you so much for connecting with us on the program this morning. And I say a big thank you as well to Dayo Anthony, who's producing the program this morning. Buluwatife Adeyefa also in the building as well. And John Afe is of our social media unit. Not forgetting Okpayemi Shodunke. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a great day.
The Nigeria Insurers Association, NIA, heartily congratulates Mrs. Yetunde Ilori on her investiture as the 52nd President, Chairman of Council of Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, CIIN. As you embark upon your new responsibilities, we pray for strength and resilience for a successful tenure in your new office. Courtesy, the Nigerian Insurers Association, NIA.
We at Segun Oluyema and Associate and SOA